Hey there, hope you're doing well. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the biggest difference between those who succeed with their online business versus those who don't, right? No matter what that business is, whether it's drop shipping or relying 100% on AdSense from a YouTube channel, or just having a YouTube channel monetized with whatever means of monetization you want, or it's affiliate marketing, digital marketing, social media, whatever it is, all online, right? The biggest difference between those who succeed versus those who don't succeed is the resilience and persistence, right? The stubbornness and willingness to just keep on going, right? No matter what, until they get what they want. Okay, right? That's really the biggest. There's nothing groundbreaking here or nothing earth shattering, right? Like, I'm not gonna give you any kind of crazy, like, oh wow kind of thing. No, 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 no. This is really, really, really basic stuff, right? But please hear me out, because as simple as it sounds, it really is the difference maker, right? It really is the difference maker. And I'm saying this on the back of a video that I did yesterday, which is, crazy when I come to think about it, that I even let that even cross my mind. But, we're all human, right? We're all human. And I'll be pretending or lying if there aren't times where I just feel like giving up and all that type of stuff, right? But those who make it, right, the difference between those who make it and those who don't is that those who make it simply refuse to quit, okay? That's just the bottom line. And there's another major mindset key shift that you need to have, right? It's those who make it, they also understand they also understand from the get-go, right, that this is not, it's not going to be, it's not going to be an overnight thing that happens, right? They understand that it's going to take time, it's going to suck, they are going to suck, they're not going to be good at what they're doing, right? All of us, right? I'm talking, like, of course, I'm including myself here, right? um there's that understanding and willingness to go through that period of suck, right? Period of sucking and just being bad at what you're doing, but with the understanding that you're gradually getting better, right? That you're gradually going to get better. You're gradually going to start to see, fix certain flaws, right? And, the whole improve by 1%, that whole concept, right? Each time and everything, that's the thing, right? There's really no such thing as failures, right? If you can change that mindset, right? There's no such thing as failures. Everything that you're looking at as a fail is really an opportunity to learn, okay? What you would have learned is just the next way of not of how to of how to not do things, right? You've basically struck aside something that now does not work, right? So it's made you're better for it, right? Now you're more knowledgeable, you know what not to do going forward, that type stuff, right? So if you look at it and approach it that way, right? Approach it that way, you will have the it could give you more of a motivation to keep pushing, right? Because now you know that that particular failure has inched you even closer to the big win that you're looking for. Okay, that particular loss has inched you forward to that big win. So essentially, I've even, it's the type of thing where you basically want to, in essence, kind of want to celebrate each loss, right? Because you know that with each loss, you're just getting closer and closer and closer to that specific big win that you're looking for. Okay. And that's the thing, like, let's just come back to YouTube, for example, since this is something that a lot of us, a lot of us that are on YouTube or do watch YouTube, we tend to have our own YouTube channels as well, right? People getting started and all that type of stuff, right? Like, let's just say, most people, let me not even say most people, let's just say it takes 30 videos, right? 30 videos as an example. I'm just using that as an example because compared to what I've done thus far, that's a really that's really reaching and stretching, right? But let's just say it's call it let's just call it 100 videos even, right? Let's just say it takes it takes you 100 videos to finally start popping off and have things start happening, right? What happens with most people is, by the time they can't they can't withstand going through that process, withstand going through making those 60, 70, 80 videos with nothing happening, right? With no success, no results. By the time they get, heck, most people, by the time they get to, I shouldn't say most people, a lot of people, actually, I should say majority, right? By the time they get to, let's just say, 25% of the way that they need to get to in order to start seeing results. A lot of people, by the time they hit the 20 whatever in their journey is the 25% mark, they give up, right? And I'm not just saying this, all right? Like, I mean, I know this to be the case, but then I've also witnessed it, right? I can't tell you the number of people that I was following, right, that were starting on YouTube around the same time as myself, and I was following them because I kind of wanted, for one, they were, we're all in the same space, right? They're doing something similar to myself, so it kind of gave me, I was using these other people kind of as like a benchmark or a measuring rod, right, to see how and where I could be or should be, or I shouldn't even be using the word should be because everybody's journey is different, but I should say I should say where I could be, right? Like based on other people's results and how many videos they've posted. So I would look at it as okay, well, all right, if they've done this, right, that like as a way of knowing what's possible. Okay, same goes for like the content that you put online for promoting products through social media and all that type of stuff, right? Too often times, people post just a few videos and things aren't happening, and then they just fall off the wayside completely because they see too often what they're doing, right? What they're doing is they're comparing their step 1 and step 2 and step 3 to other people's step 10s, 11s, 12s, and 13s, right? Let's just say you're trying to go up a flight of, 20 stairs, right? You're not going to start from the 15th, right? You got to start from the first one. But way too often people come into this online stuff looking, come in on step 1 and step 2, but expecting step 15, step 16 results, right? And it just doesn't work that way, okay? So if you can get comfortable with that, just accept the fact that things are going to be, things are going to be really, really bad for an extended period of time from the start, then at least your expectations are measured, right? Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who are really gifted or who are really good at stuff, and they just come in bang, bang, bang from the beginning, and they just take off right from the get-go because they're just that good. They're just that gifted, right? But when it comes to all this stuff online, when it comes to like online marketing, like whatever it is, online business, right? For the most part, on average, that's not going to be the case for most people, right? Most of us, right? Most of us are, for the most part, we're going to struggle, right? The thing is, what you see online tends to be what gets pulled up to the surface, right? Like the LeBron Jameses of your online business, right? The Michael Jordans. They're the ones that stand out, right? And even if they are like the new kids on the block, or and they're doing so well, that's what gets propped up to the front because that's the exciting stuff. That's what keeps you hooked to whatever social media platform you're on, right? And of course, the algorithm pushes those individuals even more. So you see that more and more and more and more, and you get tricked into thinking, well, that's the norm. Well, no, that's not the norm, okay? But the earlier you can get comfortable with the fact that things are going to take some time, right? And as soon as you can understand that, you have to go through that seasoning period of making yourself better and going through that, that period of sucking, let's just put it that way, right? Until while you try to get better. The sooner you can understand that, the more likely you are to succeed in the long run, the less likely you are to quit, right? Um, you know, you build good habits of just putting in the work no matter what. You build that into your muscle memory, and do that, and it becomes that much harder to quit. Okay, so that's really it, right? That's really it. But for those of you that are interested, if you're interested in doing what I'm doing, my thing right now is digital marketing, promoting digital products, primarily with affiliate marketing, right? I don't have any products on my own. But if you want to leverage various social media platforms to start making money online, I would highly encourage you to check out the 2 links I have in the description below this video. The first one is going to show you how to get started on Threads, monetize, to grow and monetize a Threads account. And then the second link in the description is going to give you like a foundational course training on digital marketing as a whole, and specialize, using other platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, and all that type of stuff. All right. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch. If you have any further questions, comments, or suggestions, put them in the comment section below. I will be sure to respond. Thank you for watching. Ciao.